I want to see Stefan Tuitt. He's healthy again. He's been working out. He's strong. He's fast. He's athletic. He's got a great pass rush move. He's got great pass rush moves. He can be a dominant player if he stays healthy. And I'm looking forward to Stefan being healthy all season long, playing all 16 games. And he's going to have a Pro Bowl year. He's going to be dominant. He's going to be physical. He's going to be quick and athletic.
I'm going to have to go with two guys that I'm really looking forward to seeing at training camp this year. Number one, on the defensive side of the ball, is Ulysses Gilbert III. He is one of those small package linebackers, one of those guys with great striking ability, great speed. He had a lower back injury that put him out, halfway through the season. I want to see what he can do in his second year. He's one of those guys that I think might come along and just surprise us with what he's capable of doing. The other guy would be, of course, the number one pick, Chase Claypool. Who could not want to see this cat go? When you have a wide receiver who's 6'4", runs a 4.4 with a 40-inch vertical and lines up in the slot, and he get man press and he clubs the guys. I mean, he doesn't shake and bake and then move around him. He clubs the guy with like a club, like a defensive pass rusher would have, clubs the guy out of his way. When you got a physical guy like that, I want to see what that cat can do.
Well, I always like to pick a new or one of the younger type players as the answer to one of this type of question. So I'm going to go with outside linebacker Alex Highsmith, third-round pick. I think he has the potential to be a significant part of this 2020 Steelers team. Not so much because he's going to be expected to play a lot or contribute a lot, but the Steelers, their defense depends so much on pressuring the quarterback, and their two outside linebackers, Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt, are a big part of that. Now, great players that they both are, but both of them regularly like to get themselves to the sideline to take breathers throughout the course of the game so that they can be, fresh or fresher down the stretch on the important snaps when the outcome of the game is decided. And so the Steelers are going to need some outside linebackers to eat some of the snaps and hopefully be somewhat productive when T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree are, taking a breather. And so I think Alex Highsmith is a guy who might be able to do some of those things. And if he is unable to do some of those things, that could turn out to be a problem for the 2020 Steelers. So I would like to see how he adapts to the NFL competition, and some of those one-on-one pass rush, pass blocking drills involving Alex Highsmith would be very interesting to me.
For me, it's going to be linebacker Devin Bush. I thought he did really well as a rookie last year, and to a large degree delivered as advertised. A lot was expected and a lot was delivered, but more is going to be demanded as a second-year player, particularly given what took place in the offseason. Last year when the Steelers ended up against the Ravens, Barron was the dime linebacker. He played a lot of dime linebacker snaps. Devin Bush played some dime linebacker last year, but I think he's going to have to be the guy this year. There's also a little uncertainty next to him. That was one area where the Steelers weren't able to or decided not to address in a high-profile fashion the departure of Barron. So we'll see how it unfolds, but I know they are counting on Devin Bush to take another step to make that first to second year leap that Mike Tomlin always talks about, and to be a Pro Bowl caliber guy in the middle of that defense. He has the capability to deliver, and if they're going to be the kind of team they want to be, he's going to need to deliver.
I'm going to go with Devin Bush. Obviously, the Steelers are great capital in moving up to get him. And I don't want to suggest that Bush had a disappointing rookie season. He did not. However, I don't think that we saw anywhere near the capabilities that he has to bring in the future. And by the future, I mean this season. He showed some flashes, but the latter half of the season, his snaps began to dwindle. People talk about the amount of snaps that Mark Barron got, and he's no longer here. A lot of that was because that the coaches obviously did not feel as though Bush was up to the task. It's a learning process. It's a lot to throw at a young guy. They obviously expended a great deal to go out and get him. I think that there's much more there. I think the Steelers coaches expect that there's much more. He's got to take a quantum leap. He had some great moments, but he's got to be a dominating force. He's got to be a constant playmaker. And I don't mean interceptions every game, fumbles, returns for touchdowns, but more of a presence. So they say that the greatest improvement is usually shown from year one to year two. I think Devin Bush has got to show that this year.